Okay, so video number one for me. The point of this video is to document my transition from a male into a female. I wanted to start as soon as possible. I wish I would have started earlier. Yeah, because I noticed there seems to be a lot of these videos on YouTube, but they don't usually start when they're still a male and then gradually progress into female, and I think that'd be interesting. To me, that's the most interesting part, which kind of sucks having that left out. So, I mean, I wish I would have started when I really just started transitioning. I mean, it's been like 4 months, 5 months, maybe it's, and started hormones maybe 3 months ago. But I'm still living full time as a guy. I'm not really sure what my look is right now. Some type androgynous thing or whatever. I still need to work on my voice. I'm practicing with it, but I'm not using it now because I don't want to embarrass myself. Yeah. But I guess the main thing really here is trying to find new ways to transition more successfully, because most transgenders transitioning into a female with hormones, they're not able to get that full transition. I mean, if they start earlier in life, like, you know, just before puberty or just after puberty, they can usually have some fairly good success, but, you know, once you hit your early 20s, it's not that successful. And 30s, 40s, 50s, forget it. I mean, it's very unlikely that hormones are going to help you look feminine. But I think it should be able to make older people look feminine. All the way up to Tanner stage 5, fully feminine, as much as they would have gone through puberty as a genetic girl. And one of the issues that I really have with hormone replacement therapy that I don't think has been addressed is the issue that growth hormone is essential in puberty. Without it, you don't go through puberty, really. I mean, it's what makes you grow. It makes you develop encourages cell division, you know. So yet after puberty, growth hormone decreases. Okay. So, yet it's necessary to fully to reach Tanner stage 5 after puberty. So, I'm wondering, why in the world is this not being used? And the only theory I can seem to come up with is cost. It's very expensive in America. I've heard that it costs about $2,400, $2,500. In Canada, if you don't have insurance or anything, brand name is like $800. I think there's a couple of generics that are as low as $200 for very small doses. But of course, I mean, Canada is not where all these studies are done because there isn't a large enough transgender population in Canada. The largest transgender populations tend to be in places like the Netherlands and, of course, America. You know? So yeah, and Well, I can't quite explain the Netherlands. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have some decent healthcare, to my knowledge, but I'll have to check. And, but of course in America it's ridiculously expensive, so I'm guessing maybe they just didn't bother because of the price. Which sort of makes sense, but I mean, like, that's such a huge thing. You'd think somebody would have figured that out. I mean, it would save a lot of money from surgery, you know, like breast implants. You wouldn't need that. Well, not in all cases. Some people are genetically programmed not to have large breasts, but I mean, most people are programmed to have at least, genetically programmed to have at least like a C cup or something like that, and you know, a lot of them aren't, a lot of transgender girls aren't able to get that even. So, you know, and natural breasts just, most cases, look better than breast implants. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so what I plan to do is I'm going to try and talk a doctor into prescribing me some growth hormone next month, because in the province of Saskatchewan where I live, we have absolutely amazing healthcare, very amazing healthcare. It's totally covered, practically everything is covered. I mean, when it comes to transgender stuff, SRS is totally covered in this province. Facial feminization surgery, that's also covered. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world, to my knowledge, that covers facial feminization surgery for transitioning. It's really quite a surprising. You don't hear about it in the media or anybody talking about it really, but if you look it up, you'll see that that's the case. So it's quite a shock. And I usually only like to tell that to other transgender girls and not the general population, because they tend to get kind of upset by the fact that that's covered. But of course my argument to them is always that the transgender population is very small. So there's really not, I mean, the amount of money that gets spent for transgender people to get facial feminization surgery is probably equivalent to like 1/10 of a penny of the taxes on the average person's paycheck. So getting in a big fuss about it is, I mean, I just remind them of that, and that usually settles them down a bit, but yeah. And I can sort of understand their point of view, I mean, because they don't fully understand how the whole thing of, what is it called, gender identity disorder. But anyways, I'm getting way off track. The point here is that I'm going to try out, in a month, growth hormone. I'm just basically doing an intro here, just kind of like give an idea of where I'm coming from, so that when I document the results of taking growth hormone, you'll have some kind of a rough context to judge the results that I give to you. I'm hoping it works. I'm really hoping it does. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about growth hormone. Like, it's supposed to be relatively safe. I mean, there's of course some fairly serious risks that are pretty rare, but I mean, it's supposed to have a lot of other benefits too, like it's supposed to have some anti-aging effects, which makes sense too, because I mean, growth hormone decreases as you get older, you know, cells in your body tend to die, whereas growth hormone causes cell division, cell growth, so it seems almost common sense that it should be an anti-aging agent, agonist, whatever. Yeah, other than that, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on alternative treatments for transitioning more effectively. I guess another thing I'll point out is that I'm in the last semester of my second year of university as a biochemistry major, so kind of incorporating some of the knowledge that I learned in school and some of the knowledge that I study on my own. But I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who, actually have your full biochemistry degree, or you've gone to grad school or whatever, know a lot more than me. So, I mean, if you see some kind of flaw or whatever in my idea that you think is crucial to point out, or just an idea that you think would be better or whatever, I'd absolutely love to hear it. I mean, that's really the point of this video here, is to generate discussion for alternative treatment, because the thing is, there isn't a large enough population, there isn't enough demand for treatment of gender identity disorder. So it's to get anywhere, to improve hormone replacement therapy, we have to take our own initiative. That is just simply the only way anything's ever really going to happen. Because, I mean, I've been looking up on PubMed, stuff like that, looking at their literature, and everybody seems stuck on estrogen and anti-androgen. That's it. I mean, no new ideas, really. It's pretty pathetic, and I want to see that change. So anyways, that's it for now, and I look forward to hopefully hearing some comments or messages or whatever from you guys, and I'll see you next time.